away. Picked up by Andre from three-quarters. And he hit it! He had his eyes on the prize and let it fly.
What's going on, all you Tannimals? It is another edition of the Tanndemonium Sports Show, broadcasting live on Twitch TV. Proud member of the Vendetta Sports Media Podcasting Network. And with me, as always, the co-host to the stars, Jackson Law. J Law, how the hell are you?
Doing good, man. Got a little bit of a allergy thing going on because nature cannot decide if it wants to be winter, and this in December 28th, almost to 2022, still 70 degrees today. So I don't know what the heck that's about. My sinuses are not happy about it, but I will not let that dampen my mood because the Dolphins have won 7 straight.
Control their own destiny. I love it.
Everyone else that keeps on talking and be like, oh, they haven't played great opponents. I agree, they haven't played great opponents, but they've still won 7 straight.
They've beaten the teams that they're supposed to be beating.
Oh,
not to mention the fact that, you know what, Tua's doing pretty good. Tua's doing good.
Had a decent game last night. They just need to open up the playbook more. I'll have something to say on it later, probably. But they just need to open up the playbook more. But there's other things that come with that. But it's whatever. Whatever.
And of course, I mean, I'm pretty sure I already said it, but if I didn't, I'll say it again. I'm your host, Bryan Tann. In the production booth, we got Courtney, Don't Call a Plumber. And this is our final Tanndemonium Sports Show of 2021. Going into year 2. J Law, we've had a good year this year. We finally hit our stride. We're getting things going. And I think 2022 is only going to have good things coming up ahead.
Up from here, baby.
That's right. That's right. And of course, I got Miss Odette here, and she's given us our blessing to start the show. And I'm kind of excited about that. Now, Jackson, we had a mini production meeting over the Slack today. Mm-hmm. And Courtney, the reason why Courtney is the best producer in the business, as Odette tries to nibble on my fingers. No nibbles. No nibbles. No nibbles. Stop nibbling me. So this is what happens when you're live. Your dog just starts nibbling, but it's better me than the grandbaby. You know what? That's why you're going to obedience training, because you don't effing listen. You don't listen. Stop nibbling. You know what? I'm gonna love you. I am gonna love you. Yeah. What do you think? What do you think I was gonna do? Something violent? I love this dog.
It's not Michael Vick over here. Everybody
seriously. Yeah, relax, guys. Okay. So anyway, Courtney came up with a brilliant idea in the Slack today for our since we're going into the new year. This is the final episode of 2021. We're going to do a New Year's resolution segment. So what we're going to do, we're going to pick a few teams or divisions in the NFL, and if we got time, the NBA, and we're going to decide what their New Year's resolution needs to be to going forward into the next sporting year. Get out of my wires, dang you. You know what? Come over here. Come over here, or get in my lap. Come here. Up. There you go. I'm going to bring my 50-pound baby. Oh, God, you're so heavy.
So cute.
Yeah, she's a sweetie. But of course, when I pick her up, this is what she does. I don't think she 100% likes this though, because
big old baby.
Dude, Courtney is about. Oh, look at that! We got Trey back in the chat. Courtney is more than just a blossoming flower. Okay, she's a rose. She's a thorn bush with a lot of roses to it. Every rose has its thorn, and every Courtney Plumber has her poison quills. So, anywho, do you want to go by individual team, Jackson, or do you want to go by division? So this is the game. Mm-hmm. We're going to pick certain teams, Jackson.
Yep.
And we're going to talk about what they can do differently to be successful the next go round.
Yep.
All right, so
we could do teams. Start us
let's
out.
do individual team. All right, so I have to, if I don't start out with my Steelers,
of course,
I have to. Come on. There we go. There you go. Lay down. Lay down in daddy's lap. There you go. Trey, you can't take credit for a black woman's thorns. They were already there. Courtney is it's in her DNA to tear anything and everyone apart piece by piece. And certain folks in the company in the Slack are probably going to learn that the hard way, especially coming into 2022.
She's gonna put that fur coat back on that she had last week.
Yeah.
Whip out her cane that's got the solid gold handle on it and
silky plumber. Talking about you making Silky look bad, baby. Matter of fact, I'm gonna start calling Courtney Mama Mabel. All right, so let's start with my Pittsburgh Steelers after the shellacking that they got. Now, I knew they were going to lose to Kansas City. I knew it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we still need, you know what? It's going to be a bloodbath. And I'm going to say this right now. 14 of y'all in this company that have not done your end of the year reviews, which means there's going to be 14 opportunities. You've got 4 days. And then there's going to be 14 new opportunities. Now, me, I know I'm good because I was one of the first people to do mine because I'm a company man.
I have done mine.
Yeah. So get it together. If you don't, see you bye. We don't need no dead weight around here. Anyway, so I knew they were going to lose. It was just the way they lost and in the manner that they've lost. And the Steelers have been getting hit from all sides all year. Not just from analysts, but also alumni, former Steelers. Rocky Blyer, the former halfback of the Steelers, who's also a war hero, has had a lot to say about him. Now, a lot of folks we know this is going to be Ben Roethlisberger's final year. And a lot of folks are saying, well, they need to draft Kenny Pickett. And I wish Josh Taylor was going to be on here, but we'll talk to him about this next year. I say you do what I already told y'all to do in the first place. Shore up your offensive line in the draft. And I'm sorry, getting Trey Turner in free agency, no, that wasn't good enough. It's obvious it wasn't good enough. And then Kendrick Green, who was a guard in college on a subpar Big Ten team, you moved him to center because he worked harder than everyone. All right, that's good. I'm glad he works his ass off. But guess what? Working your ass off don't mean you're good at it.
I don't know.
What do you mean? What's
Courtney,
wrong?
is this?
What's wrong?
It's me, I think.
Oh, I think it's you, Jackson. I think Jackson is the one that's frozen
good.
here.
Okay.
All right. So with that being said, Kendrick Green, you move him out of his natural position to center. He's not getting the job done. He's undersized. That's not his position. You went in with this patchwork crap. You could have gotten Creed Bratton, who's killing it in protecting Patrick Mahomes. You have to shore up the offensive line. So for the New Year's resolution segment, number one, shore up the offensive line. And if you got to go with Mason Rudolph all next year as your quarterback, fine. As long as you got an offensive line in front of the man so that he can do, I did say Creed Humphrey. I meant Creed Humphrey, Creed Bratton. Creed Humphrey, yeah, we got to get Creed from Dunder Mifflin on the offensive line. We absolutely do. But no, for real. You gotta shore up the offensive line so that way you can give Mason Rudolph time to do his job. But not just Mason Rudolph, but now that Najee Harris can actually run the ball. That is the first New Year's resolution that the Steelers need to go with. No, I'm not deucing on Mason Rudolph. What I'm saying is that in the New Year's resolution of the Pittsburgh Steelers, it has to be, as Miss Odette sits in my lap, the New Year's resolution has to be, number one, shoring up the offensive line. You shore up that offensive line so that way if Mason Rudolph is your quarterback next year, he has time to run. I mean, he has time to throw, and Najee Harris can actually get some holes to run into. There's no reason that Najee Harris should have to be doing the O.J. Simpson route. Matter of fact, there's no way that Najee Harris should have to be being Walter Payton during his first couple of years on the Bears. There's no reason. You know what? Here's my thing with Mason Rudolph. And I'm going to admit right now that I think that I've been unfair to Mason Rudolph in some ways. Because Mason Rudolph has been behind a subpar offensive line ever since he came into the league that's steadily gotten worse. Now, does that mean that he's great at what he does? No. You know, when his first drive in that Lions game, he looked pretty on point. But otherwise, I don't know. But at the end of the day, look, a good offensive line is going to make a mediocre quarterback look good. Case in point, Trent Dilfer. And here's Odette, come. And of course, here's my dog playing with stuff that she should come. Anyway, this is what happens when you go live. And you know what? And Scotty's right. If you've got no line, you've got no offense. And that's the bottom line. That is the absolute bottom line. Leave it. I got a dog that doesn't listen, so this is going to be fun. This is going to be very fun. So that's the first New Year's resolution for my Pittsburgh Steelers. Get an offensive line. Shore it up. Yeah, Courtney, come on here. I'm all by myself here. You got to get in on this now too. You know, when Jackson's not here, you're the co-host. Second, you got to start getting some more work in on the coaching side of the ball. Keith Butler isn't calling plays, so you know what? If you don't trust him to make the plays, then guess what? Get him out of there. Get Keith Butler out. Get a defensive coordinator in there that are actually going to call plays and is going to make some use of TJ Watt, make use of Cam Hayward, make use of Minkah Fitzpatrick. And maybe, just maybe, you can start developing these young defensive pieces that you think might be your future. And on top of that, get rid of Matt Canada because he's not working out. He's just not. So those are the 3 New Year's resolutions of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Get an offensive line. Use that in the draft. Number 2, start making some changes on the coaching end of things, specifically in the coordinator positions. Period. Now, of course, Jackson's not here, so it kind of takes some of the luster off of things. All right, so Courtney, you don't do NFL, so why don't you come on and do some NBA then? We did a little bit of NFL. We'll go back to NFL, but let's do some NBA. You know what? And Scott, you're absolutely right. Give Ben the keys to the offense for the rest of the season, see what happens, because obviously Canada isn't getting it done. It's just not happening. All right, so Courtney, so Trey wants your real life New Year's resolutions. So how about you give me an NBA one first, and then give us a real life New Year's resolution?
Okay, let's see. I want to start off with the Lakers.
Oh boy. Okay. Get rid of Russell Westbrook. What else?
No, get rid of AD.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. So why are we getting rid of Unibrow?
I don't know. Well, he's always injured, and I feel like he's got comfortable now since he got his ring. But I mean, he can be more of a consistent player than Russell. But I don't know. I just feel like he's just not there anymore like he was. So at least Russell tries. He'll turn over the ball about 4 times, but he'll try. He's always there.
All right. So now, what do you think about now? Who said it? Who's the one that said that all Russell Westbrook does is chase stats? Who said that?
Oh, Karl Anthony Towns.
Now, is the cat? Is he right? Is Westbrook just about chasing those stats?
Yeah, I think so.
So everyone's mad at him for speaking the truth.
Right, pretty much, exactly.
Fair enough. And you know what? Maybe do you agree with Scotty in the chat? Do you think that Do you think that AD needs to finally shave that unibrow, take some of that money that he's making, get that shit shaped up?
Probably, because remember James Harden was rocking that mohawk for forever, and then
Oh
he
yeah.
finally switched it up, so he's been playing different now. But
oh, that's true. And you know what? I got to walk back what I was saying about James Harden too. He just posted a triple double. He was using his team, getting some work in. So I think I might have to walk back some of the trash talking I did on James Harden.
Yeah, especially against the Lakers with everybody.
Dude, James Harden just used the entire squad to just make the Lakers look like poop.
Pretty much.
I mean, I don't get and do you feel bad for LeBron at all? I mean, or do you think this is more of a you reap what you sow? You brought these guys in here. You use all your influence to be GM LeBron. This is what you get.
No, I don't feel bad for him. Look good, play good.
Look good, play good, pay good, live good, die good. Say it 5 times fast. That's a lot to ask.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's a lot. All right, let me see. I did it once. All right, look good, play good, pay good, live good, die good. Look good, pay good, live good, die good. Look good, play good, pay good. All right, you know what? I'm already bored. That's too much. I did it 3 times. That should be enough. That's a lot of stuff. That's enough. That's enough. But no, I think you're right. I think this is the time that LeBron tried to get all of his buddies together to play, to do more ring hunting, and it's biting them in the ass. It's biting them now.
For sure. Come on, it's LeBron. I'm quite sure he has something to do with all of that. More than likely. So now, like you said, you get.
Yeah, you get what you get. Absolutely. You know, you reap what you sow. You did this. Oh, wow. So Trey was like, look, I want some Courtney in my life. Wow. Yeah. Trey, seriously, Trey's curses are like the Madden curse, just undefeated.
Yeah, because this is the longest he's been gone.
Yeah, I mean, he's trying. I just got the message. He's trying. I will say this, though. The Madden curse hasn't been affecting Tom Brady or Pat Mahomes. But it did retroactively mess up Bo Jackson. Did you notice in the updates that now Bo Jackson is the cover guy for Madden 22?
I have not paid attention to Madden 22. I had downloaded Madden 21 and played it. I was like, this is why I don't play Madden.
Yeah.
It's like very like glitchy and cheating.
It's crap. It's absolute crap. Like Madden 20 is better than Madden 21. And that's saying something. Well, you know what, though? Yeah, 9-0 for Brady says otherwise. All right, that's true. But Brady ain't been hurt.
True.
Brady ain't been hurt. He's been playing pretty well.
Has he been in COVID protocols?
I don't think so. Well, dude, Tom Brady is on that special super diet that, like, I don't think Tom Brady's allowed to get sick.
He has to. He's old. I'm older. I'm not gonna say old.
Tom Brady's only about a year or 2 older than me. Yeah, watch what you say. Watch what you say, youngin. All right, for real. But no, well, here's the thing, though, too. I seriously think that the NFL would fine COVID for affecting Tom Brady.
Probably.
Yeah, that's true. Tom Brady. Well, so I guess the Madden curse can't touch Tom Brady, so it's been attacking the entire Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
But that is hurting him, though. So
that is hurting him too. So okay, so it's only hurting 1 of the 3, 2 of the 3, because it retroactively has hurt Bo Jackson because Bo Jackson's hip decided to come out of his socket.
Oh, that's terrible.
Oh yeah, well Bo Jackson, the injury to Tua was similar to Bo Jackson's. So if Bo Jackson would have had access to the medical treatment that Tua had, his career never would have ended. You're right. You're absolutely right. But I cracked the code to I was able to get an Xbox Series X. So I downloaded Madden 21, the Series X version, just to see if it had something else to offer. It don't. It don't. It really don't. Like, I'm really mad at myself for wasting the bandwidth of my internet. I really am. Like my internet's like, dude, really? We could have downloaded so many other things.
True.
So yeah. So all right. So the Lakers, that's your New Year's resolution. I'm actually gonna go with the NBA and the NBA Players Association.
Okay.
Look, it's your job to protect your players.
Right.
So the fact that you seriously had to do an emergency meeting vote 2-3 weeks into another COVID outbreak to make these decisions on replacement players and these 10-day contracts and stuff, it's laughable. It's ludicrous. And the guy who got hurt the most out of this was Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant having to play 42 to 45 minutes a game because he's got nobody else that he can play with. Do better, NBA Players Association. Do better.
Do better, Suddenlink.
Yeah. Oh, and the Brooklyn Nets as well for walking back the whole thing with Kyrie Irving. Walk that back and do better. That should be like that. They should have just stuck to their guns, for real.
Hey, they were desperate.
I mean, I get it, and that also falls back on the NBA Players Association.
True.
That falls back on them. Damn dog! Leave my phone alone. I swear, this dog. You know what? Come back up here. Come here. There you go. I have to get her back up in my lap now. Nope, you're staying up here, lap dog. Oh, God. 50 pounds is not easy to hoist when it's all muscle dog. All right, Jackson. So we went into some NBA.
Okay.
One of Courtney's New Year's resolutions was the Lakers. We've established that AD needs to finally take some of his money, get that unibrow shaped up and trimmed, make it 2. There should be 2.
He needs to buy new legs is what he needs to do.
Yeah.
Dude, as much as I hear about his legs, like I swear he must be Kyle from that episode of South Park where he had the blachioplasty, where they made him like a 7-foot tall black kid with Mr. Garrison's balls as his knees. And when he tried to dunk it, the balls exploded in his knees. Like that's Anthony Davis to me. He's Kyle Brocklowski with a blachioplasty.
Pretty much.
But we don't feel bad for LeBron because this is LeBron trying to use his influence to build the team that he wants. And now this is what you get.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. There's nothing that they're going to get. They're not going to get anything out of Westbrook that they think they're going to get. I mean, the only person that's achievable to get is probably Buddy Hield. But are the Kings going to want to have a team where they have De'Aaron Fox, Tyrese Halliburton, and Russell Westbrook?
No,
I don't think so.
No.
I don't think so. No.
And Russell Westbrook is not going to go to Sacramento.
No. And you would also have to give a first round pick to get rid of Russell's contract. And
right.
I just don't think the Lakers have any assets to give. They dumped it all to get AD, Westbrook. And then anything that had left over, they dumped to get Westbrook.
So they're screwed. Thanks, LeBron.
They are kind of screwed. Listen, this is what LeBron does everywhere he goes. He did it not necessarily the first time in Cleveland. I will agree, Cleveland did not do a great job with building a team around him. You go back and look at the teams that he had to carry, and the one year that he gets to the NBA Finals, he has a freaking Mo Williams and Anderson Varejao and like all these other dudes that no one ever is going to remember, and I can't even remember half the dudes. I think like Jarrett Jack was like the backup point guard or
Jarrett
something.
Jack, wow.
I think I could be wrong on that, but I know that's a name I hadn't heard in a hot minute and just kind of popped in my brain. I could be wrong if he was on that team, but I honestly don't remember half the players, 90% of the players on that team. But he did it this previous stint in Cleveland where they signed people with bad contracts and they were millions
and they're still stuck. They're still stuck with some of those contracts.
They were deep in the luxury tax, paying a lot of money. They get one title, which is great. It's one of the better titles in recent memory, just like
the only thing Cleveland has had in a long time.
Yeah. But then like he leaves and it's like they can't acquire good new players because they give Tristan Thompson like $150 million deal. It's because of LeBron. Rich Paul was Tristan Thompson's agent also. So that is LeBron's inner circle that is getting Tristan Thompson paid. And honestly, ever since that payday, the only thing he's ever done is just continue to cheat on his Kardashian girlfriend wife on and off again. What is it? Chloe, is that her name? I know
Chloe.
It's the same one
because Chloe has gone through more NBA players than freaking
Kendall Jenner, who's dating Devin Booker right now, has about a 7 or 8 man lineup right now, because I put him in a 2K simulation a few years ago and wrote an article about it.
Nice. You know what? I almost bought 2K22 today, but then I saw just how bad it is and all the
it's
horrible.
Bad. Don't buy it.
I didn't.
The only place where LeBron hasn't done this to, it was Miami, and it's because Pat Riley
did it.
Said, I'm not putting up with your crap. Okay,
right.
I'm gonna run this team the way that I'm gonna run this team, and we're gonna win.
Gonna accept it,
and it's like you're just gonna accept it, and that's exactly what happened. They won a few titles. LeBron ends up leaving. And we're like, oh no, like the Miami Heat, they're going to fall into despair. They really haven't. Nope. They really haven't had to rebuild. Spoelstra's kept them in it. They've made great draft picks. They've made top-notch free agent signings.
And and they're stuck with that Kevin Love contract. Cleveland can't get rid of him because they're stuck with that disgusting contract.
It is a pretty disgusting contract.
So, and now the Lakers are going to be in the same boat as the Cavaliers are. And you know what? That's LeBron's legacy. Everywhere he goes, he ruins. All right, so we're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back to do the NFL. We're going to do some more NFL New Year's resolution. I can't wait to hear who Jackson has for his first New Year's resolution in the NFL. But we're going to take a quick break on the final Tanndemonium Sports Show of 2022. Tanndemonium Sports Show broadcasting live every Tuesday evening, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Twitch TV, twitch.tv/Vendetta Sports Media. A proud member of the Vendetta Sports Media Podcasting Network. You know that you'll see the three of us in 2022 because we've all done our performance reviews. Can't say it for 14 other people. I'm just saying. But we'll be right back here on the Tanndemonium Sports Show.
The following broadcast is brought to you in association by XP Coffee Company. XP Coffee Company is the fresh brewed coffee made for gamers by gamers. Get amazing flavors like Choco Loco in 8, 12, or 16-ounce bags. Or level up and get Illusion, Isolation, Nightmare, or the Majestic Throne blends in light, medium, or dark roast in whole bean, coarse French press, drip, or fine espresso in 12-ounce, 16-ounce, or 2-pound bags. Wow! Shipping worldwide. If you're in the U.S., go to usa.xpcoffee.co. If you're in Europe or in the U.K., go to www.xpcoffee.co. XP Coffee Company, for gamers, by gamers.
All right, we're back here on the Tanndemonium Sports Show, broadcasting live on Twitch TV. I'm joined on screen with Miss Odette the Diva. She wouldn't stop making noise and playing around in the background. So now I have a 50-pound lap dog. Say hello, Odette. Oh, you're so sweet. I love you. I love you. I love you more than I love most people, especially the 14 individuals
That's fair.
will soon not be working at Vendetta Sports Media. I bet you Odette, if she was asked, she would do her performance review. All right. So apparently Courtney is being told by the boss in the chat that he needs an actual New Year's resolution from her. I don't know if Courtney does New Year's resolutions. I mean, are you ever gonna? Well, she already didn't have to accept defeat in the Jai Crowder thing, right? So doesn't that mean she's just right at this point?
She's always right.
She's always right. That's
always
true.
Right.
All right, so Jackson, who is your NFL New Year's resolution guy?
All right, so I didn't get to hear any of your, at least like 95% of your Steelers rant.
So basically what I said for the Steelers, this is what they need to do. They need to build the offensive line in the draft. And if they don't just do it in the draft, then they need to get some real studs in free agency because I'm sorry, this Trey Turner signing was a waste, an absolute waste. Right. And even if Mason Rudolph, you don't go for a signal caller, you get the stud offensive lineman that you need. So that way, if Mason Rudolph or Josh Dobbs or Dwayne Haskins is your quarterback, they have time to throw and Najee Harris actually has room to run. Then you get rid of, if Mike Tomlin is not going to have Keith Butler calling plays, get rid of Keith Butler and get a defensive coordinator that can actually call plays, make use of your three-headed monster in Cam Hayward, TJ Watt, and Minkah Fitzpatrick, and develop your young pieces and get rid of Matt Canada.
That's not a contest.
That is nowhere near.
We all know who's going to win that one.
I would destroy Jason Whitlock. Okay, Jason Whitlock and King Kong ain't got shit on me. All right. The only reason why, you know what, I'm going to say something that I don't really want to say, but I'm going to say it anyway. You want to know why Jason Whitlock is as popular and as paid as he is right now? Because he Candace Owens like hell. He gives the bigoted ass sports fans a melanin enriched person to make fun of black athletes and call out black athletes so that the race can be like, see, I'm not racist. Jason Whitlock says it.
the way you said that, I'm not right then. I mean, it's not even better. Just roll with that.
Yeah, let's just roll with that.
I'm not
but
right.
No, I'm not right then. Jason Whitlock says it. Now, Jason Whitlock ain't got nothing on me. Jason Whitlock is an idiot. All right. Jason Whitlock is what Al Roker would be if Al Roker were a terrible human being. And that's not saying anything against Al Roker. I'm more making fun of how Jason Whitlock looks. So F Jason Whitlock. And I hope, you know what? I don't wish him any ill will. I just hope he steps on some ice wrong and sprains his ankle. He sprains it so bad that the doctor goes, you should have just broke that shit. F Jason Whitlock. Can't stand him. I'll never have, and that's the most time I'll ever give Jason Whitlock. Jason Whitlock gives me anal herpes.
All right. So for my, after that beautiful rant, my first team for a New Year's resolution. I mean, you went homer with your first. I'm going homer with mine. All right. So Miami has done, I was going to say, an incredible job. I honestly don't know the adjective how to describe the job that's been done by Miami. It's incredible that they've ripped off 7 straight. They're the first team in NFL history to have a 7-game losing streak and a 7-game winning streak in the same season. So I'm like, yeah. Like, it's like,
yeah.
I don't know like what inflection to use on that. Yeah. But here's like the big thing. So either way, they are in the playoff hunt. They are a team that is getting close to being what all Dolphins fans are hoping that this team would be, which is a playoff team. And all you got to do is just get to the playoffs, because then it's just a game by game, week by week basis. Anything can happen. Just look at what happened to the Chargers this past Sunday against the Texans. They got absolutely steamrolled, which is again,
who would have saw that happen?
Which is again what I will say about Miami winning 7 in a row. That you kind of start thinking you're invincible. You go into these games where you're supposed to win, think you're invincible, and you get steamrolled. Miami hasn't come in with that attitude. The Chargers got their butts whipped by a 3-win team. 2-win team. Now they're a 3-win team.
Now they're a 3-win team.
Davis Mills looked like the second coming of Joe Montana out there. Okay, that's bad. That is
it's real bad.
I mean, I could eat my words, and maybe Davis Mills turns into a pretty good starting quarterback in the NFL. Maybe he's bought himself a starting job next season because of this game. But anyways, the Miami Dolphins, they've done a good job so far in the draft. I was critical of Chris Greer, understandably, when they were 1-7, because outside of Javon Holland, draft picks weren't really paying off. And Jalen Waddle was kind of a softball, easy one, although he's turned out better than what I ever thought of. I think he's like 6 receptions short of Anquan Bolden's rookie record for catches in a season. And wow. And before people say, oh, but he's got an extra game to do it, Jalen Waddle missed a game. So that means that he would play 16 games and still beat the record.
There you go.
And the way that Tua throws to him, he's 100% going to have like 6 receptions in the first quarter of next game. He's got 2 more games to do it. He'll do it in the first quarter, minimum first half against Tennessee this coming weekend. But they've done a great job building this team. And here's the thing. Most everyone is on a relatively cheap deal. You want to know the salary cap that Miami has coming into this offseason? $75 million. I think it's the second or third most cap space in the NFL. And I will tell you this, it is definitely the most cap space of any team that has an above 500 record and is fighting for a playoff spot right now. They currently sit in the 7th spot. If they win out, they're all but guaranteed to get that 7th spot. Now, there could be some weird trickery, tomfoolery that happens if the Bills and the Patriots completely collapse the next 2 weeks, that they could potentially win the division. I don't think that's the case, but I know Buffalo hasn't locked up the division yet. So mathematically, Miami could still win the division, which is insane after starting.
That is nuts.
It's insane when they start 1-7.
No, so
their New Year's resolution.
What's their New Year's resolution?
Don't be afraid to spend money. Don't be a cheapskate this year. You've been a cheapskate the past couple of years, and you've just barely squeaked by with a just like a little bit, but you're almost there. Spend that money. If you got to use it on the offensive line, 100%, that should be the first thing. The second thing they need to do is they need to go and get a good second receiver to pair alongside Jalen Waddle. And if this is correct, I typed in 2022 NFL free agents, and if this is true, Allen Robinson from Chicago is a unrestricted free agent this season. Pairing him up with Tua alongside opposite side of the field of Jalen Waddle could be absolute money. Chris Godwin is also another player that will be hitting free agency this season. You could help with some of the defensive depth. Chandler Jones is a unrestricted free agent this year. There are a multitude of ways that they could spend this money. I honestly think they could spend all $75 million on the offensive line, and I would be fine.
Oh my God. If they did nice. I'll tell you something right now. If they put all that money into the offensive line, I think that would probably be the only thing that gets Tua to stay in Miami. With all this Deshaun Watson nonsense.
Yeah, I'm 100% down with buying depth on defense. They do need some help. The linebacking core does need some help. I honestly think if there is a corner out here, which Stephon Gilmore is like the only one that's like an unrestricted free agent. It's kind of been like I at least haven't heard too much of him this year, so he may be kind of past his prime. This is just like, I'm just looking at a list and it's like their ranking of the top free agents. So, I haven't delved too much into what this upcoming free agent class is. But there's a lot of options that Miami could go with here. Just don't be afraid to spend the money, man. They are afraid to sign the checks. I don't know what Chris Greer and the Ross family, what do they have against signing the checks? Sign the damn checks. Get Tua some help. Like, they're 8-7 with the worst offensive line in the NFL. Imagine if you had an average offensive line. Imagine if he had
they would have won this division.
Jalen Waddle and Mac Hollins in the receiving core to go through. Mac Hollins couldn't make Philadelphia's receiving core 2 years ago. Okay,
hey, if they had
player Devontae Parker's, he's a great receiver, but if you have Devontae Parker as your third receiver rather than your second receiver, I think you're doing okay. Mike Gesicki is obviously going to get paid at some point. Right. So you may have to pay him this offseason earlier rather than later. That's normally what you want to do in these situations, but just don't be afraid to spend the money. Don't be a cheapskate. You can afford it, so do it. Because you're only hurting yourself if you try to save that money. The money's got to be spent. You don't get to pocket the money. Spend it, get some players, and make a push.
I love it. So here's my thing as well. I'm going to look a little bit at the New York Football Giants. This is another organization that's in complete disarray, and it's hard to see because it wasn't even 10 years ago that they won They won 2 Super Bowls. So I think that, number one, what you really need to do is, well, for one, you're going to have to get a new GM because your GM isn't getting the players in there to get the job done. As far as, their current head coach, I mean, he's only had 1 year with no real players to do anything with, but he's wasted. I mean, Saquon Barkley is just... He can't stay healthy. Daniel Jones. I mean, it's hard to even call Daniel Jones a bust, though, because what has he had around him other than Saquon Barkley?
Well,
Nothing.
I just wasn't a big fan of Daniel Jones. I still
I
don't
mean,
think
me
Daniel
neither.
Jones is the guy.
I don't either. But the whole thing is that we don't know what he could be, and that's because the front office isn't doing him any favors. So
Yeah,
I'm definitely.
This past year was like the best draft that David Gettleman had, and it's only because he did what normal GM should be doing, which is trade back, get assets, and then you still pick a good player, the guy that you want, at where you jumped back to, which is what they did in this draft, and it's something that Dave Gettleman has never done in his life. But yeah, I think Joe Judge is definitely getting, if he's not on the chopping block, I think he's on that spectrum somewhere. I don't know where exactly he is, but he's on there.
Yep. All right, give me one more. Give me one more.
I'm going to go with the Chicago Bears. And the Chicago Bears need a divorce from Matt Nagy. They deserve better. This is a terrible relationship. You hate to see a guy lose his job. You hate to see marriages wait, what?
Dude, John Madden been dead. John Madden been dead.
I was about to say.
John Madden died this morning. John Madden been dead. Now,
unless it's the anniversary.
Now, his video game series died a long time ago. Oh! But no, I agree 100%. Matt Nagy needs to be gone. That's numero number one that the Chicago Bears need to do. They need to get rid of Matt Nagy.
And like I was saying, you never want to see... I can't think of Jackson Sport Media rival I want him to debate. Give me either Skip
I was gonna say Skip
or Nick Wright. Give me one of those guys.
I can see you. I can see you and Mikey Greeny having a little bit of a rivalry. I can see you and Greenberg having words.
But I think Nick Wright would be more challenging. I think he has stupid takes, but I think he's a bit more creative with his stupid mistakes. Unlike Skip.
Right, fair enough.
Skip would be like an easy take. I feel like I could easily take him.
What about Tony Kornheiser? How would you do with Tony Kornheiser?
Tony Kornheiser, I haven't listened to him in so long that I don't really know. It's been years since I've watched PTI.
Okay.
So
fair enough.
I mean, they all have stupid takes. I remember Mike Wilbon. This was shared a few weeks ago when Pat McAfee signed his new multi-million-dollar deal with FanDuel, and Wilbon was like, "This guy's an idiot. Why is he leaving the NFL to become a broadcaster? The money's not in broadcasting. It's playing in the NFL. Someone get a hold of this guy." And now he's making more money than what Wilbon or anyone, unless you're Stephen A. or in the top 1% of ESPN, have ever made in their career earnings.
Hey, but listen, let Pat do his thing.
He's doing a great job. He gets, he like I said, he gets some good guests. And
I just kind of wish he would stop talking to Aaron Karen Rodgers. Aaron Karen.
That brings the views, though. So
yeah, that's true. That's true.
But yeah, Matt Nagy needs to go. They got a great young quarterback, I think, in Justin Fields, and Matt Nagy either doesn't know how to use him or doesn't want to use him. And I don't know which is worse, but they're both bad. So you need to find a head coach that understands the type of quarterback that Justin Fields is, where the NFL is moving, and how to best utilize him.
I agree. So now, who do you bring in to coach this Bears team? Because right about now, I think Byron Leftwich is going to end up in Jacksonville.
I think Byron Leftwich should. I know today I saw where Jacksonville had requested to talk to the offensive and defensive coordinators of the Cowboys, Kellen Moore and Dan Quinn. Is it Dan Quinn? Yeah, it's Dan Quinn. Which Dan Quinn, I believe, was the head coach. If I can.
Dan Quinn used to coach the Falcons.
Yeah. He used to coach the Falcons. Yeah. I feel like I
I
don't know.
would
I don't know.
not.
I don't think Dan Quinn was responsible for that. That was all Kyle Shanahan and getting them to the Super Bowl and everything with Matt
Yeah,
Ryan's.
I don't give Dan Quinn any sort of opportunity to coach my team.
So, I mean, it's a softball for Jacksonville to get Byron Leftwich. Which, if you want to, that could be like a joint New Year's resolution. Is bring your boy home.
Yes.
Let the prodigal son return home, and Byron Leftwich, give him the keys to the kingdom.
Absolutely.
Let him groom Trevor Lawrence into being
what everyone thinks he's going to be.
As weird as it is to say, Byron Leftwich has been arguably the most successful or the best quarterback in Jacksonville history. Now, it's probably not a great thing to say because they didn't really do much with Byron Leftwich, but
that team. But see, those Jacksonville teams were just garbage, though. I mean, they were
garbage. Yeah, well, Jacksonville has pretty much been a garbage franchise ever since their inception. Creation. So
I agree. I think that if I'm the Jacksonville Jaguars, I get Byron Leftwich, and if I'm the Chicago Bears, I get Eric Bieniemy. I'm gonna be screaming for Eric Bieniemy to have a head coaching job in the NFL until it finally happens.
Yeah, he should at least be getting interviews. Everyone that fires their head coach needs to be hitting up his agent, texting his phone, calling him up, be like, "Yo, dude, you want the job?" And if he says, "Yeah, I'll come in for an interview," then those are the two at the top of your list. If he says no, he says no.
I think those are the two top jobs in the NFL right now is Chicago and Jacksonville because of those two young quarterbacks. Mm-hmm. So I think that's definitely the way to go because Shanahan is good in San Francisco. He's not going anywhere. Not to mention the fact that I think that they're going to get rid of Jimmy G. That's going to be the New Year's resolution for them. Get rid of Jimmy G. Trey Lance, stay healthy and get Trey Lance really, 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 and get him some help because you traded up to get the guy. Now get some help around him. Being Urban Meyer's agent, honestly, you might as well. I don't see Urban Meyer having a coaching job this coming year.
I don't think he's going to get. Well, I don't want to say never.
Well, he's never going to be back in the NFL.
Not in the NFL.
Never back in the NFL. Though. He'll be back in college probably within the next year and a half, next 2 years. He'll be back in college.
We'll see what jobs open up.
Yep. I also think that New Year's resolution I'm going to go with the Atlanta Falcons this time. It's time to finally cut your ties with Matt Ryan.
Yes.
And get yourself someone so that way you're not wasting Michael Pitts. I mean, you already wasted Julio Jones. Don't waste Michael Pitts too.
Yeah, Pitts is too good. It's too good. He's too good of a player. You don't want to waste him. This team is just less yoga.
Yeah, that's not going to
Dre's on one tonight.
Yeah, he really is. Like he's
on one tonight.
Well, here's the thing. I'm going to be doing more DDP yoga in the new year, but I also just picked up the body action system, and I'm going to be using that as well. So, I've got mine.
But the Falcons just head to toe. They need a change. They absolutely
need to blow the whole damn thing up.
They honest. Do. I honestly, it baffles me that they have the record that they have. They're 7-8 right now, which is just insane.
I don't know how that happens.
That they're close to a 500 team. I would have thought that they would have had 8 losses like in week 10, but here we are.
I would have thought.
Here we are, week 16 coming up, and they've only got 8 losses. My next team, it's gonna be kind of interesting here. Because it's odd. It's kind of like 2 teams with potentially a third team involved in it. It's teams that need to go after a specific player because this specific player's tenure and the team that he's currently with should be done. Let me phrase it this way. It should be done.
Okay.
The Denver Broncos, the New Orleans Saints,
Okay.
and I will throw in your Pittsburgh Steelers in this as well. They need to be the top 3 teams that are in the sweepstakes for Russell Wilson if he wants out officially from Seattle.
Okay.
I think the Broncos have a good team. They just don't have consistent quarterback play.
They haven't had consistent quarterback play since Peyton.
Exactly. And it's been the same this year with New Orleans. Now, New Orleans did start 5-2 with Jameis Winston. So I could see where New Orleans, they could probably think to themselves, the Jameis Winston thing was working. It wasn't perfect, but they were 5-2 before he went down for the year. So I could see them being like, we're going to hang on to all of our assets, and then we'll just kind of run with it, and we think Jameis Winston can be the guy. Pittsburgh, you're losing Big Ben. Maybe you are able to improve that offensive line a little bit, but you still need a quarterback, even if you go out and you get your guy in the draft. I'm always down for, letting him sit. There's nothing wrong with bringing in Russell Wilson for a few years to let him teach the new guy, learn behind Russell, and then eventually take over. So, but the Broncos, man, I think the Broncos, that would be an amazing pairing. They still have a great defense. He'd have a few weapons to work with. Offensive line isn't the best. It's not terrible either, statistically, analytically speaking. But those teams need to be at the forefront of getting Russell Wilson, because I don't think there's a really good landing spot anywhere else. He's definitely not going to go to Houston. That's a worse situation than what he's in.
Well, that's a god-awful situation.
I don't Carolina, maybe, but that defense has not been playing up to par this year. The offense has gone flat. I don't see them trading him in division, so I wouldn't see if Aaron Rodgers moves on. I don't see him going to Green Bay. I don't see him going to Detroit. I don't see him going to Chicago. No, don't go to Minnesota, or not in division, but maybe I got my divisions mixed up. So maybe he could go to one of those teams. I don't know. Anyway, those need to be the teams that need to be hard pressed to get Wilson, because if the Broncos get him, they flip from a 500 team to maybe a 4 or 5 loss team, and they're in the playoffs. And they are giving the Chiefs a run for their money in their division.
I agree 100% on that. Any team that gets Russell Wilson is instantly better. Instantly. But you're going to need to have an offensive line in front of them. Again, if you don't have an O-line, you don't have an offense. The Steelers are key to that. They're showing that like mad. Not to mention the fact that, granted, the Miami Dolphins offensive line isn't great, but they've been working better.
Mm-hmm. Some more than others. Some more than others. I think Liam Eichenberg is garbage, but
yeah. If I'm Kevin Colbert, what I do is I do make a trade for Russell Wilson. I find a way to make it work to get Russell Wilson. Maybe I'll give a future first rounder. Not this year's first rounder, but next year's first rounder.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would not be against using all of my picks in this draft on offensive linemen. My first round draft pick, offensive lineman. Second round pick, offensive lineman. You know what? And then I look in on David DeCastro, see how he's doing. If his ankle has gotten better, I bring him back if I've gotten Russell Wilson. But I see of the teams that were mentioned, I think that the Broncos are the ones that are in the best position to get a Russell Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
They've got the capital. They've got cap.
Mm-hmm. And the Saints, they're like $60 million under the cap. Like
the Saints
over the cap. The Saints have a little too much wiggle room. It would be a lot of magic to jump through to get, but that. And if I'm
Seattle, I do not send him to any NFC team at all. I just ship him out of the damn conference altogether. That's what I do. All right, let's take one more break. Let's go with our main NFL segment right now, which has always been the Week 16 biggest storylines and takeaways from Double M, Max Murphy.
Hey, so no, yeah, John Madden, he did pass away. It was today.
I thought he was already dead.
No. NFL announces the passing of John Madden. Earlier today, we received the sad news that the great John Madden died unexpectedly this morning. He was 85. On behalf of the entire NFL family, we extend our condolences to Virginia, Mike, Joe, and their family, said NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell. We all know him as the Hall of Fame coach of the Oakland Raiders and broadcaster who worked for every major network, but more than anything, he was devoted husband, father, and grandfather. Nobody loved football more than Coach. He was football. He was an incredible sounding board to me and so many others. There will never be another John Madden. He will forever be and we will forever be indebted to him for all he did to make football in the NFL what it is today. Memorial service information will be announced when available.
Well, it just goes to show how much of an asshole I am. I thought the man was already dead.
Wow. I know. I was trying to research it a little bit while we were talking, but yes, John Madden is officially.
Well,
that's sad.
That's pretty sad. That sucks. It really does. And send thoughts and prayers to his family because it's never easy to lose a loved one. One thing that I want to pick up on that Trey just said that he's hearing that the Steelers are leaning toward Trace McSorley as their next starting quarterback. Whatever. Hey, if you can get him, get him. Why not? Just make sure you got an offensive line in front of him. Otherwise, it's going to be just as bad. All right. Is it bad for me to say that I hope that EA shows some give a damn for their the Madden franchise now?
They'll show it for the man, but not the game that represents.
The game is still going to be garbage.
Bears his name, unfortunately.
Yeah, pretty sure. Although I'll tell you the truth, if I'm his family, the first thing I do is say, yeah, you can't use the name Madden anymore. Can't use it anymore because your games suck. We're selling the name to We're selling the name to 2K now. All right, we're going to take our final break here. Our final break of 2021, because this is the last Tanndemonium Sports Show of 2021. You won't see us again for a year or 7 days, whatever one comes first. But we'll be right back. We are a proud member of the Vendetta Sports Media Podcasting Network, broadcasting live every Tuesday evening, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Twitch TV, twitch.tv/Vendetta Sports Media. When we come back, we are going to talk the biggest storylines and takeaways of the NFL. You know what, Courtney? Why don't we see if we can get Max on the show next week for the Week 17, so we can talk some Week 17, since we've been doing his column every week of the football season. Let's bring the man himself in. Can we get Max Murphy in here?
Man, the myth, the Max.
Well, wait a second. Has Max done his review?
Mad Max.
Has Thunderdome done his review?
He's done it for this week.
All right, so Thunderdome did his end of the year review. Okay. All right. So let's get Thunderdome. You know what? His name is now Thunderdome. Let's get
Thunderdome Murphy.
Yeah, let's get the Thunderdome in here next week. Max the Thunderdome Murphy. Let's get him in here next week. Let's talk Week 17 with Max next week. But we're gonna go through his article from this week, and we're gonna finish off strong. This is the Tanndemonium Sports Show, broadcasting live on twitch.tv. We'll be right back.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. In case you hadn't heard, your favorite Renegade Sports Media Group has its own Patreon. Go to patreon.com/Vendetta Sports Media to support our efforts to continuously bring you sports, gaming, and other media coverage as only we can. We've got 4 different membership tiers. For $3 a month, we'll give you a simple thank you on our Patreon site. For $6 a month, you get a thank you, and you get to become a recruit in Jackson Law's Vendetta University Gaming Series. For $10 a month, you get everything from the previous tiers, a special thank you at the end of our videos, free access to our upcoming Discord chat, and a free koozie after 4 months. And then the big dog, $50 a month, gets you everything from the previous tiers, as well as opportunities for Fantasy League invites, stream gaming, possible invites to mock NFL and NBA draft sessions, a once-a-month Google Hangout, and after 4 months, a free t-shirt. Yeah! Go to patreon.com/Vendetta Sports Media and help us to improve our pledge to bring you the best sports, gaming, and other media coverage.
All right, we're back for our final segment of 2021 here on the Tanndemonium Sports Show, broadcasting live on Twitch TV/Vendetta Sports Media, a proud member of the Vendetta Sports Media Podcasting Network. And real quick, before we get too deep, make sure you go to monkeyknifefight.com or download the app Monkey Knife Fight and use our promo code Vendetta on your very first deposit. And they will match you dollar for dollar up to $100 on your very first deposit. Who's that? Poser wants to join the show. Jared Posser.
Prosser.
Prosser. Oh, what did I say?
You said Posser.
Oh.
Like
Prosser.
imposter.
Oh,
Imposter.
no.
Imposter wants to join us.
He wants to join the show to do some NBA. All right, we can do that. We can do that. That's not a problem. We can do that. We'll make it work. Tell him to talk to Courtney with all the details. All right. The Dizzies, because listen, this is an important show. This is an important show, man. You know,
very important.
Courtney's the gatekeeper of this. All right. So, first things first from Thunderdome. The Bills have taken a stronghold of the AFC East. The Bills went into Gillette and they did what they hadn't been able to do in over 20 years, and that's beat the Patriots. And oh man. Sean McDermott's defense was outstanding.
Yeah, they ate up mac. They had mac and cheese for lunch that day.
Oh yeah. And this is the game where Josh Allen showed that he was worth every bit of that $150 million contract.
Oh, of course. He balled.
He really did. And that's what we've been expecting out of Josh Allen. But you know what? This is when absolutely rest in peace to the John Madden. Absolutely.
Very upset about that.
That's very upsetting
when we get done here.
That's very upsetting because this is a guy who's been a part of my sports existence since I was a little bitty kid. I remember playing the very, very, very first John Madden on Sega Genesis, and I still remember. Matter of fact, John Madden is in one of my favorite sports films, The Replacements.
Oh yeah. So
rest in peace to John Madden. That's the one thing that sucks about getting older is that people that you grew up with pass away. But yeah, Josh Allen definitely proved that he's worth that contract. And this is when you want your $150 million man to start proving it. Not only against division rivals, but late in the season going into the playoffs. This is what you want. So I think the Bills. I think we're going to see an AFC. I think the AFC championship is going to be Bills and Chiefs. I called it at the beginning of the season. I'm still sticking with that.
Bills and Chiefs, yeah. I still like the Bills. I mean, they haven't played all too great recently, but all that matters is how you play down the stretch and if you can get hot at the right time. So
it's how you play in January.
Yeah, and I still think they're one of the best teams in the AFC. I still think, like you said, it's going to be Chiefs, Bills, AFC Championship game. I still like the Bills. Now the Chiefs have really picked it up. Looked like a good pick early in the season, not so much now. Same thing with my my Rams pick, but I will hold my journalistic integrity, stick with my picks through thick and thin, but that doesn't mean I can't be critical of them and say that, you know, like the Packers obviously are probably and should probably be favored to win the Super Bowl right now.
Yeah, the Packers are just doing amazing. I guess
they're missing a few players on defense too that are supposed to be back for the playoffs, so that's big.
Yeah, I mean, but the thing is, though, is that we've said that a few years already, though, that the Packers are supposed to be
the Packers sometimes they fumble it in the NFC Championship game. They just do.
Yeah. So the Chargers just got completely outplayed, thumped, bumped, and destroyed by the lowly Houston Texans. And it's crazy to me that Justin Herbert, now I've been singing his praises since he came into the league, and he looked very, very pedestrian. And the Texans just got the job done. I think that what this game proves, though, is that, the Texans, I think they finally moved on from the whole Deshaun Watson drama. And he's not going to be in Houston next year, no matter what. Whether they trade him or they cut him outright, the Texans have shown a lot of poise and strength this year. And you got to give it to them.
No, yeah, it's incredible that a coaching staff is able to keep their players motivated the way that the Texans have this late in the season, when it's like, we're not going, like, the players could just be like, our bags are already packed, man. We just want to collect our last couple checks and go home, man. That's we just don't want to get hurt. We don't want anything drastic to happen. Just let us go and spend time with our families, spend the new year with our families, and just get to the summertime, enjoy a nice vacation, and we'll just come back at it next season and see what happens.
But no, they're doing their thing and they're making it work. So congratulations to them, for real, for real.
Mm-hmm.
But a team that's definitely fallen apart are the Arizona, I almost called them the St. Louis Cardinals, the Arizona Cardinals. 2 years in a row now that Cliff Kingsbury's team has fallen off that cliff. They start out so strong, and now it's just not working. They've lost three straight. This time, the Colts just came in and showed them who they daddy is. So do you see the Cardinals getting it together, or is that it? Is that it for them?
I don't know, because it's been rough. They are trending downwards at the wrong time. This is when you need to pull together some gutsy wins, finish the season out strong, so you have a high morale going into the playoffs, and they're not. And ever since Kyler Murray came back from injury, this team just has not been doing it like they were. Now, granted, again, they don't have their star wide receiver in DeAndre Hopkins, but you can't put that all on DeAndre being gone. But kudos to Carson Wentz coming in, getting a good gutsy win, playing a great performance, and not Carolina. Why was I thinking Carolina? But the Colts continue to ride the back of Jonathan Taylor, who leads the league by an extremely wide margin in rushing yards. He's got like 1,600 rushing yards, and like second place has like 1,200 rushing yards. So unless he doesn't play, and I forget who's in second place, I think Nick Chubb's in third. I forget who's second, but whoever's in second, unless they pop off for 200 plus yard games, no one's catching up to him. Fantastic season for Jonathan Taylor. And the defense continues to step up and make plays when they need to make plays.
Yep.
Simple.
And finally, the Chiefs continue the roll. Patrick Mahomes is back to being the elite level passer that he is. Now the defense is starting to get into it. Granted, they beat the Steelers. That's not really saying much, but they got the job done. Although they lost Honey Badger in that game. We'll see how he comes back to it, if he's back in time for playoffs or not. But, I mean, hey, this is what the Chiefs do. And they've won their 6th AFC West title in a row. And they are the number 1 seed. So congratulations to the Chiefs. So our final story of the night. Shout out again to Thunderdome for awesome work yet again. Yeah, I know, right? The NFL is reducing their COVID-19 quarantine time from 10 days to 5 days, and that's including unvaccinated players. All I can do is shake my head at this. Why? I don't get it. You know, COVID is still a thing, and the Omicron variant is way more from what the science says. It's way more of an infectious manner. It may not be as killer, but it's even more infectious. So why would you do this?
Well, only time will tell to see how this decision pays out. Yeah,
I mean, this just, it makes no sense to me. And I'm I'm fed up with guys like Cole Beasley and Kyrie Irving that are sitting there trying to downplay this. Look, I get it that there are instances of the vaccine that folks don't want to be bothered with. I totally understand. So you know what you do? Step away from stuff. Quit putting yourself in situations where you're going to get other people sick. The people that I know that are anti-vax for a legit reason, they keep themselves out of situations where they could or may infect someone. These idiots want to be able to just run around and do whatever the hell they want. And now the NFL is going to reduce the quarantine time. I think it's absolutely stupid. It's disgusting. And I'll tell you the truth right now, when Goodell gets it because of something like this, oh, they're going to change their tune again real quick.
Yeah, again, like I said, time will tell. See if this was a good decision, bad decision, or just a decision that didn't really affect anything.
If you want to find out anything and everything about the Tanndemonium Sports Show, you can follow us on Twitter at TanndemoniumVSM. All right. I live tweet the Steeler games, even though I'm starting to really hate myself for volunteering for that. I'm going to start I might start picking like the marquee Sunday afternoon game or something because these Steeler games are just getting too difficult.
Until the Steelers start putting together a couple wins, just pick a different game to tweet about.
Yeah, you know what? Why don't we put a poll up on Twitter for anyone that pays attention? Why don't I let the listeners pick which game I like?
Yeah, pick a couple of games you like, and then run the poll for a while.
All right, we'll do that. We'll do that. I'm going to do that tonight. So go to at Tanndemonium VSM, check out our Twitter poll. What games do you think that I should live tweet this week? All right. That being said, make sure you check out monkeyknifefight.com. Go to monkeyknifefight.com or download the mobile app. Use our promo code Vendetta on your very first deposit, and they will match you up to $100. Ew, you smashed Kirk Cousins? Gross.
Not my cup of tea, but to each their own, man.
Hey, man, it's 2022. It's almost 2022, man. You smash who you want to smash, buddy. You can also make sure you check out Symbol. If betting or doing the full on scale of what's the word I'm looking for, Jackson? What's that thing you do? Fantasy sports isn't for you. Why don't you go to Symbol? Go to symbol.com, use our promo code Vendetta, and you'll get a $10 match on your very first deposit. Yes. Buy your favorite team's stock. Now, I was in Symbol. I had the Jets for a little while. I made like a $3 return. But I got out of the Symbol business a little bit ago. Maybe I'll get back into it at some point. You never know. But make sure you check out Symbol. We're still partnered with them. And anyone else? Oh, I'm pretty sure I might have to change the bumper for our Patreon since you're not doing Maximum Football anymore. But Football. But there's a new one coming out this year, right? There is a new one coming this year, isn't there?
It's coming out at some point. It may be this year. It may be another time. Who knows?
All right. But we'll come up with some new things to do on the. But make sure you go to our Patreon, patreon.com/Vendetta Sports Media. Every little bit that you donate to us per month will help us so much. Your contributions helped us with our StreamYard. So this show and other shows can go live. We thank you very, very much for that. And we ask you guys, just to do whatever you can. 3 days to get it out. 3 days.
3 days.
3 days. 3 days for folks.
Took us 3 days to make that potato salad.
Well, you ain't put no raisins in it, did you? Just make sure you ain't put no bland ass raisins. For Maximum Footballs. Oh wow, 3 days to get Maximum Football. Oh, gotcha. Okay,
because it's coming out later this year. Yeah,
because it's coming out later this year. Yeah,
they announce it tomorrow. First trailer the next day, December 31st, 10 p.m. It's out Eastern time. That way it gets right in.
Nice. Okay. Hey, I'm all for that. I'm all for it. Yeah. So maybe you'll get some more Vendetta U with Jackson Law. Who knows?
We'll see.
All right. But with that being said, I want to thank everyone for viewing. Thank you for making 2021 such a successful year. And here comes 2022. Let's make it even better. Jackson, thank you so much for all your contributions to the show. I couldn't ask for a better co-host. Courtney, we couldn't ask for a better producer for this show. You definitely make this show go round. And actually, I want to give a shout out to our former producer, Bridget Rounds, who she's looking to take her education to the next level. I'm ready to give a little signing for her to give, for her to move on. Thank you for her for all she did, because she really helped get things going, and Courtney came in and took it as her own. So thank you much. Shout out to our brothers and sisters here at Vendetta. We did, we've had, this year has been tricky, but we've got it done. We've been successful. Let's go into 22 and make it better. With that being said, I'm Bryan Tann. He's Jackson Law. This is the Tanndemonium Sports Show. We'll see you guys next year. See ya!